Matthew Perry, best known for his role as Chandler Bing on the hit sitcom Friends. He quickly became one of the show's most popular characters. Perry continued to act in movies and TV shows, including Studio 60 on the Sunset Strip and The Odd Couple. But underneath the glit and glamour, he struggled with addiction and mental health issues over the years. That would lead to his untimely death in October 28, 2023. In this video, we'll take a look at the last minutes and seconds and what caused the death of the actor at only 54. Matthew Langford Perry was born on August 19, 1969, in Williamstown, Massachusetts. His actor father, John Bennett Perry, split up with his mother, Suzanne Langford, while Matthew was still an infant. He went to live with his mother in Ottawa, Canada. Suzanne served as press secretary to Canadian Prime Minister Pierre Trudeau and later remarried. Matthew's stepfather was Keith Morrison, a correspondent for NBC's Dateline program. Matthew attended Rockcliffe Park Public School and became friends with fellow student Justin Trudeau, the current Prime Minister of Canada. After moving to Los Angeles around the age of 15 to live with his father, Matthew enrolled at Buckley School and graduated from the private school in 1987. Growing up, Matthew developed two passions, playing tennis and acting. But he had to give up tennis when his family moved to Los Angeles when he was 15. He continued to pursue his acting career, and Perry landed his first movie part while still in high school, a supporting role opposite star River Phoenix in A Night in the Life of Jimmy Reardon, 1988. Unfortunately, the film came and went without much notice. In September 1987, Perry starred in his first sitcom, Second Chance. The show had a fantastical premise with Keith Morrison starring as a man who dies and gets a chance to go back to mentor a younger version of himself, played by Perry. The show was later retooled, dropping Martin and focusing on the teenage misadventures of Perry's character. Despite its new direction and new title, Boys Will Be Boys, the sitcom failed to attract enough of an audience to stay on the air. After the series ended, Perry landed a series of small parts and guest appearances on such programs as Empty Nest and Growing Pains. He also had a supporting role on the short-lived Valerie Bertinelli comedic vehicle Sydney in 1990. This same year, Perry gave a strong performance as Desi Arnaz Jr. in the television biopic Call Me Anna, about the life of actor Patty Duke. 3 years later, Perry tried again for sitcom success with Home Free. He starred as a young reporter who lives at home with his mother, his sister, and her 2 kids. After a few months, the series was cancelled. Perry was then cast in the pilot for LAX 2194, a futuristic look at an airport which never aired. Perry soon found the perfect project with a leading role in a new sitcom about a group of young men and women in New York City. Debuting in September 1994, Friends became one of the most popular television sitcoms of all time. Perry played the witty and sarcastic Chandler Bing, who shared an apartment with an aspiring actor named Joey, played by Matt LeBlanc, and was a longtime friend of Ross, played by David Schwimmer. Completing the cast, Courtney Cox played Monica, Ross's sister, Jennifer Aniston played Rachel, Monica's roommate, and Lisa Kudrow played Phoebe, the kooky, offbeat friend to all. The 6 actors proved to be a tight group, both on and off screen. They banded together to renegotiate their contracts. After Friends became a huge hit, a must-watch show for many Americans on Thursday nights, each eventually earned $1 million per episode. Critics loved the show too. Friends notched 62 Emmy Award nominations in its run, including Perry's 2002 nod for Outstanding Lead Actor in a Comedy Series. During the later seasons of Friends, Chandler developed a romantic relationship with Monica. The characters eventually married, adopted twins, and planned a move to the suburbs as the series came to an end in May 2004 after a decade on the air. During his years on Friends, Perry tackled several movies. He starred in several comedies, including Fools Rush In, 1997, with Salma Hayek, Almost Heroes, 1998, with Chris Farley, and 3 to Tango, 1999, with Neve Campbell. While none of these films struck a chord with audiences or critics, Perry found some commercial success with The Whole Nine Yards, 2000, with Bruce Willis and Amanda Peet. The movie earned more than $57 million and spawned the 2004 sequel, The Whole 10 Yards. As he enjoyed the immense popularity of Friends, Perry battled addictions to alcohol and prescription medications. "I was a guy who wanted to become famous," he told the New York Times in 2002. "There was steam coming out of my ears. I wanted to be famous so badly. You want the attention, you want the bucks, and you want the best seat in the restaurant. I didn't think what the repercussions would be." Perry entered rehab for his addiction to the painkiller Vicodin in 1997 and completed a second rehab stint in 2001. Years later, Perry told people he couldn't stop using alcohol and pills during that period. His addiction relapsed, and the star went to rehab several more times throughout his life. In his 2022 book, Friends, Lovers, and the Big Terrible Thing, Perry wrote he spent more than $7 million attempting to get sober and visited rehab at least 15 times. Even as he continued to struggle, he tried to support other addicts too. He advocated for drug court reform and, for a time, turned his old Malibu, California, home into a men's sober living facility called Perry House. The actor's addiction sparked a string of related health problems. In 2000, Perry was hospitalized for pancreatitis. Then, in the summer of 2018, the 49-year-old actor was rushed to the hospital with a gastrointestinal perforation. He later revealed in his book, Friends, Lovers, and the Big Terrible Thing that his exploded colon, caused by his opioid abuse, left him fighting for his life. His 5-month hospital stay included a stint on life support and 2 weeks in a coma. "The doctors told my family that I had a 2% chance to live," Perry wrote of his early days at the hospital. His recovery included using a colostomy bag for 9 months and at least 14 surgeries. Perry died on October 28, 2023, at age 54. Authorities found him unresponsive around 4 p.m. in his jacuzzi after playing 2 hours of pickleball at Riviera near his home in Pacific Palisades. Sources told the Los Angeles Times no drugs were found at the scene. Perry's fans and friends have expressed their shock and sadness over his death on social media because Matthew Perry was in a good place before his shocking death. He was happy, content, optimistic, and had recently committed to a new film. He had just moved into his new house 3 weeks ago and was loving the new digs. In addition to being happy about his new home, we're told Matthew had a lot going on in Hollywood. Our sources say he had recently committed to acting in a new movie, a drama, and he was also working on other projects and coming up with ideas for scripts. Overall, Matthew's outlook on life was optimistic, and he was sober and felt content. Add it all up, and it makes sense why those around Matthew are so shocked by his sudden death Saturday, October 28th. His former co-stars have also paid tribute to him, remembering him as a talented and funny actor and a loyal friend. He was heart and soul of the Friends.